G'day everyone, and welcome to creative mode. Basically what I was thinking of today was, because of Survival Impossible and the lack of a jetpack, I really wanted to have something that was going to, have the ability to lift me up so that I don't need scaffolding. And that's something that I basically dreamt of having as part of one of my survival playthroughs, and was kind of what drove me to have the no jetpack in the first place. So what I'm thinking of building is a ridiculously complicated and unnecessary scissor lifter sort of thing. Jin, not long, I'm guessing. Not long till clang. So the idea I have in mind is to actually do something that uses pistons to generate the force to lift this thing, but rotors to make sure that it remains balanced. And it's gonna be interesting to see if it works. What I need first is rotors. And we'll add a small head. And we'll lock it. Because I think I will be best starting off with something nice and locked and level. And then the idea, like the sort of scissor lifter I'm planning on doing, if I can just quickly find myself a picture. Yeah, pretty much this. Display capture, there we go. That's what I want to see if I can make. This thing. Something that actually does have that kind of folding mechanism. Because I think it'll be kind of cool if I can pull it off. So I guess to start off with, I should try and build one of those scissor mechanisms and see if I can actually get it to work. And if I'm going to do that, I probably want to use half blocks on here. Ooh, should I use these? Maybe actually. Just thinking of trying to limit, and on small grid this is more difficult, but trying to limit the amount of edges of this that are full. Edges, you know, the collision box, basically. Try and use something that's as small as possible. And yes, my voice is still ruined at the moment. Ugh. Hopefully it'll be back to normal in a day or so. I did a number on it. Yelling a lot. I probably want to... You're welcome, Wilson. Very welcome, mate. I've done something like this before, and I'm just trying to remember the lessons I learned from it when it all broke. I think... Actually, let's just use full blocks. Let's use full blocks, and then I'll, after the design is roughed out, I'll see what I can do in terms of making it more compact. So I think I want to do uneven number. And then there'll be a hinge in the middle. I am attempting to build one of these. Something like this. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm just trying to think out the best way to really approach this from the outset. I probably don't need to have them cross. I could probably just have something that's more just the single side of it. Oh no, I need the cross. No, I do need the cross. I remember why I need the cross. because I use pistons to create the driving force, and I just have all of the rotors set to off. that way it can actually lift stuff that's quite heavy, which is exactly what I'm after. So if I then have... Let's just bring this down. So the reason I wanted to do this in creative first, obviously, is the risk of it all going kablamo. But the other reason is, if I've built it all in creative first, when I then go to build it in survival, I should be able to have a much better time of getting it to work reliably and getting it to work with minimal resource input. You could be right that this might work and then suddenly explode. That is entirely possible, that all of a sudden it'll just go horribly, horribly wrong. I see that as fairly high probability, actually. But still, if I can get it to work a couple of times, that'll be kind of a nice proof of concept. Do I need to? Sort of. Oh wait, if I push that out, I can then do this. Oh wait, not that first. That first. Then that. Get rid of the rotor part. Yeah, voice is almost back, but it is still not normal. And it doesn't feel great either, I'll admit. This isn't cheating, this is learning. Yeah, this is design. Yeah. Honestly, if you don't take advantage of stuff like this, I think you're just making your life harder without any real benefit. And I'm going to make, like, doing it this way, I'm going to learn heaps more than I would learn trying to do it in survival and then just getting angry at it. Somewhere around there. Okay. Now what I need to do is turn you off. Well, if you think about it, like, this definitely isn't cheating, because if it was, then everything I'd ever done before playing any of my series would be cheating as well, which doesn't make sense. Okay, that's what I want. So that'll lift it up just enough that when I turn this one off, then retract this piston. There we go. I know you are, Dwemer. It's all good, man. Cool. That works. Toggle you off. And now the pistons control the positions of the rotors. So I can go up, or I can go down. There we go. Now that's started, the rest of this should come together, I think. And, I suppose that doesn't really matter. Oh wait, yes it does. Oh no. I need to go rotor out this way for the next layer, I think. Oh no, it should be good to go on this side, actually. That's right. One there. One there. Yeah, J Matcha, this is something I wanted to work on because I'd like to use a lifter design like this in Survival Impossible, so that I don't have to build scaffolding to everything. I'd really love to be able to use something like this to help me get up to the heights that I need to get at. And one of the nice things about using pistons to lift a vehicle like this is, one, it's going to look cool, and two, the pistons are going to be much easier to get the fine control I need with just button panels rather than having to jump in a cockpit or use a remote control block, that sort of thing. So I should be able to stand on this thing, press up, go up, press stop, and then use it where I need it. Alright, I'll paint it safe to yellow now. Yellow, let's go a little bit brighter. Man, you can really hear it in my voice right now. Let's go with battered. Go. There we go. Yeah, dear, it definitely does. Some warning lights and things like that would not go astray. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And get rid of that. Then 3, 4 there. Now I just need to line these two up so I can attach that rotor. And angle here. If I bring that to roughly parallel with the other one, I should be able to get this one into pretty much the position I need. That might be close enough. Yeah, J-Matcher, that's what I was kind of thinking. If I make it roughly parallel, it'll be close enough. Because that'll give it the same angle. And now that it's locked, I can toggle it off. And I can toggle the other two off as well. So there we go. Now, as we adjust this, you can see just how good a system this can be. And it should keep the platform fairly level the whole time. I think it tends to, because of this offset here, not be exactly right, but it should be pretty close. And the sort of heights I want to be able to get to, like, we'll exclude the fact that this is already 1 block up, so if we start from there, that's getting me 4 blocks high. So I'll be able to weld anything up to 5 blocks, which is kind of cool. Yep, my dream of building a scissor lift. I've wanted to do one of these for so long in survival. Yeah, my voice. That's not germs. This is self-inflicted. This is absolutely self-inflicted. I might have had my work's Christmas party on the weekend, and there may have been some loud music and much yelling done, which has done a number on my voice. And me waking up at 2:30 this morning hasn't helped me either. So the reason I need... Thanks, Dark Lord. The reason I need something like this for survival is that Survival Impossible, I've got no, like, absolutely no well, not absolutely no jetpack, but no jetpack for the I've got no jetpack usable on planets, so I need some way to get up to the higher points to weld and build stuff. And something that's reusable and movable is going to be a big part of it. It was a lot of fun, actually. But it's just something I get to regret now. Now, this is the bit that I struggled to work out. How do I now get this to support a platform properly? I could go taller because I could just add more layers to this. So this is just, I think these 2 layers is enough to test the theory and see if it can work. So the thing I'm trying to work out now is how do I attach a platform to the top of this that's going to remain level as the pistons extend. And this is where I ran into issues with my previous designs on similar things. So yeah, the trouble is, Viper, if I tried to mirror the bottom with the pistons won't extend. And no, the pistons can't be used passively, unfortunately, which is really sad. Because otherwise, you could use them for suspensions and all sorts of things like that, which would be really cool. So, one of the things I thought of doing was, at one end you have a platform free spinning on this rotor, and at the other end you put a wheel with 0 friction, and you have stuff. You have basically rails for that wheel to slide along, which I might give a go. But before I do that, I'm going to copy paste this whole thing for when I decide that that's the wrong way to go and I want to do a different approach. So let's just try this out. What I need is to get rid of that block. And then probably have it pointing out that way, actually. Then we need to correct the offset so that it's right in the middle of the block. That should be right, but it doesn't look it. Unfortunately, I have to use a wheel suspension because you can't control the friction of the wheels that are just wheels. Like these ones, when you build them onto your grids, you don't get options for their level of friction. So I need 0 friction, which means I need to use a wheel suspension. Where is my friction? Oh wait, maybe I want that. Oh no, this should be okay. Should be okay. Build Vision is a mod, and it is one I use for anything I'm building this sort of contraption in, because you just can't do it without it. It takes so long if you try and do it without having something like that, like Build Vision active. Oops. Toggle block off. Alright, let's just see how badly this works as it's currently set up. So if I reduce my velocity, that actually kind of works. That could easily work well enough. Check that out. Yeah. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm so surprised that such a simple solution actually works. And then, just to make sure that things, like it doesn't pop off the end, I should just need to put in like a single block here. And that way, and also just make sure my piston, actually I probably don't even need that block. If I make sure that my piston's extensions are set correctly, it'll just be fine. So let's test this in full range. I can't believe this has worked so quickly. I'll just see how long I need the platform to be. I think I need an extra block or two, just in case. Let's find out how low it goes. So that's pretty compact. Like that's only realistically 2 meters up. So as long as I've got a set of stairs at one end so that I can jump onto this thing and then get onto the platform. And it's a pretty sizable platform too. So I'd be able to weld a few blocks before I'd have to move the whole thing. Jamacha, I don't have, in Survival Impossible, I don't have any small grid ladders. So that's not an option. Yeah, the bounce is kind of terrifying, but this totally works as is. I can't believe it. All I gotta do is get some half blocks. I mean, this thing's gonna weigh a lot, which is one of the big advantages of the using pistons. Let's just retract that a little bit so I can build that last little bit. Should let me place these in or not, because the wheel suspension is in the way. I wonder if it get out of the way when I go right up. So my plan would be, once this mechanism is all working, I'll then convert this into a vehicle and see what problems I have with it being a vehicle. I think I'm almost definitely going to need landing gear to lock whatever the vehicle is to the ground. Actually, that's a good point, Dawama. I could turn this into a... if it's strong enough, you might be able to slide this under a vehicle and lift a whole vehicle to work underneath. That'd be kind of cool too. I can't believe that this has just worked so neatly. I was expecting a lot more trouble. Alright. Let's just collapse both of these fully. It's a little bit crooked, but I think that's okay. Yeah, I am going to need to find a way to make this level once it's a vehicle, and that I have not really got a great idea about, to be honest. That is something I will have to look at. But I figure first things first, let's get something that will work on reasonably level terrain, and then we can... I suspect there's got to be some auto leveling script out there that I could use, maybe. Or even if I manually level by putting 4 pistons around, so on the base piece, have a piston on each corner with a landing gear, and I just level set it myself. Oh yeah, if I adjust the... Oh, that would level it a little bit. Or do you mean adjust the suspension offset of the wheels once I've got them on the bottom? There you go. That's a bit more level. Right, so what I was doing that for was to do this. Maximum distance. 1. I'm going to do the same on this, and then I'm going to find out what the maximum distance I can have on both of these is, so then I can just set up a control to extend or retract the pistons. Okay, how much further can I go? Jeez, it bounces a lot when it's going down. Oh, man. Okay, 1.2 is the max. Yeah, Bo, I thought there was a script out there with piston leveling for stuff. I've not used one myself, so I'm not familiar with one, but I'm pretty sure there is one out there. Okay. Now, what I want to do is... I'm not going to greeble this too hard, for now, at least. But I need a little button panel. Okay, we'll go with that. What do I do on the corners? Maybe I don't do it that way. Maybe I do full... Yeah, I gotta do full blocks for the corners. So, then, we grab button. Maybe I should actually... could just do this. Yeah. I also need a control panel. Oh wait, I think that's under button now. Yeah. Because pistons. Scissor left pistons. Save. Then what I should be able to do is increase velocity and decrease velocity, and I think reset might set it to 0, I hope. Or I could have toggle off, actually. But maybe I'll do reset and see if this works. So if I then press this, so that's, oh, that's down. Whoa! Okay, I might need to use a script because that's way too sudden. Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh jeez. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's flick this back over. Oh. Okay, what's the script called? We're gonna need to use a script here because this doesn't work. I was hoping to get away with that, but it's not gonna happen. Can anyone remember the name of the script that allows you to do, like, really accurate positioning and controlling of pistons and all that sort of stuff? What's it called? I know I've got it and I know I've used it. Where is it? Easy automation, that's what I wanted. Because easy automation should be able to do most of, like, any of these fine controls that I need. If I can remember how to use it. Which, you know, is questionable. Maybe I need a simpler script. Oh, so is the other one that you were just suggesting, Sif, is it broken? For easy automation, I need an LCD as well, I think. It has been a long while since I've taught myself how to use easy automation. But it is a great script for this sort of stuff. But that's what these streams are for. I kind of want the debug there so that I know when I've set something wrong. So there we go. That's why. Can I shrink that a bit? Yeah. Oh yeah, Kaiser 9. This is definitely not meant to be a purely practical design. This is meant to be engineering a fun design that'll also be practically useful somehow. Because it will actually do what it's meant to do, even though it's totally over-engineered, which is kind of my thing. Troker Joe, if you wrote a script that did that sort of thing, I would absolutely be using it. Because that's the sort of stuff I need to use. Now, what's this tell me to do again? I might need to bring up the mod page. Because I can't remember what I'm doing. Yeah, that doesn't have the instructions that I need. But I know I've used this before, and I know I can get my head around it. Oh yeah, I used Twinkie's one on the multiple piston extension script before. But I thought I'd use easy automation, because if I can get my head around easy automation, it would... it'd be something I could use more broadly. Oops. There's the thing I was looking for. Here we go. So I need to... Setting up commands. Oh, thanks, Linus. That is another thing I need to do, isn't it? Yes, if I could have a lot of fun spinning the thing on top. Oh man, it wasn't that long ago I did this. I didn't think this would be that hard for me to remember, but I'm terrible at this stuff. Thanks, Bad Dog. Maybe I should just use Twinkie's script for now. Make my life easier. Or I can use Bainies? Twinkies. Ah. Actually, that's not a... This isn't a bad one to use, actually. Because instead of having the elevator have, like, fine control, I could just have various steps. So I can go... height for 1 block up, height for 2 blocks up, height for 3, that sort of thing. Alright, each person... Okay. So, my pistons. Scissor piston 1. And scissor piston 2. And let's get rid of this one. 0.1 will be my speed. Add 1 programming block for each setting that you want and paste in the script. Add all of your pistons to the script and the desired extension of velocity. When you run the script, the pistons will move to the indicated total extension if it was in the range. Okay. Yeah, I'm totally going to... Before I do this in Survival Impossible, I will absolutely make sure that I know how to use something like Easy Automation so that I can set it up properly and in only 1 programmable block. It's just, I figured since it's a stream, I'll try and just get something that's going to work first. Double set velocity. Wait, what? Why am I blind? I've got my set velocity, but where's my extension? Or do I throw a command at this again? What am I missing? Add 1 program. Add all of your pistons to the script and set the desired extension and velocity. Where's my extension? What am I missing? There should be a... float. No, get the current total distance. I am so lost. What am I missing here? Did I delete a line somehow? I'm so confused. No. I'm missing... So, down here we've got... I've got... So, starting up here, there's nothing in this top section that says how far this is supposed to extend, but I know it's meant to be in here somewhere. We've got our desired total velocity, we've got both of our pistons added. It doesn't appear to be in this top section, unless I'm really missing something obvious. Then, down here, we've got float set extension, but I haven't set that. Yeah, Selenius, I really do want to get my head around it again, but I think in the state I'm in at the moment this morning, I don't think I'm going to get there. And I think I'll probably just get really annoying. Ah, the extension is past. So it was the bit that confused me is that is the bit where I'd add one programming block for each setting. You shouldn't need to do that because I can just set past the argument with the button. So for example, if we want this to be the top one, all I should need to do is run with 0. Then we know that it's 1.2. I set the max of these two, isn't it? Yeah. So 2.4 is the max extension, so I can set the bottom to be that. Start with this one. Run with 2.4. Confirm. And let's see what happens. I don't die! Oh, it's Scissor. Thanks so much, man. Thank you. Very kind. Ah, look at that. That worked a charm. And then I can go back up. Oh, bouncy. Bouncy, bouncy. This is cool. Sweet. So that script works and doesn't kill me. So that's nice. So yeah, I could easily use this script and just have, like, if I set it up at this sort of width, just put 5 buttons along it and have 5 different extensions that get me to the various heights I want to be at. It'll totally work. Alright, now for the next step. Vehicleize this thing. I'll just keep pasting new versions until I've got what I need. Yeah, Wilson, I should let Capac use the unscripted one. Or just have a big red don't touch this button, because then you know Capac will hit it. You know that he will go straight for the big red button and push that thing. Alright, turn this into a vehicle now. That means we're going to need a more practical way of having these linked would be that. I can get rid of this. And then I should be able to safely put half blocks along here. Actually, for this stage, I should probably bring this all the way down so that I see how far it needs to go. Oh, I definitely have to have a do not press button to ensure that Capac could press it. I'd have to work on my acting though, because I'd have to try and convince him that I really didn't want him to press it. Because I'm not sure he'd buy it if I just put a big red button with do not push. He'd be like, I'm suspicious. Something's up here. Alright. Maybe I'll... Actually, maybe having the wheels spaced out a fair way could be good. Or maybe all of this extra... Oh. I wonder if I could get away with making this skinnier. Press for loot or press for sandwiches would probably convince Kabak. I wonder if I can replace one of those rotors down there and make this thing a whole lot skinnier. We need to go up. We need to go up, 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 up. Then we put that there. Put that there. And then if I were to get a rotor in here and attach snapped onto there, that would definitely be better, but I don't think I'm easily going to be able to do that. I wonder if I break... Oh, I've got a copy of this anyway. Huh. It was really reliant on that rotor. Good to know. I guess I won't be fixing that little step up, but I'll just have to try and remember that that's something I need to improve for the final design so that it is a bit more compact. So I don't start with the two rotors facing each other, I start with them facing the same way. Should be easy to get the rotor offsets correct then too, because they won't be pushing against each other. I do have another thought though. Yeah, I suppose I could like either or. Either the pistons need to move across to the other side or the rotors need to be on the same, but I don't... Actually, you're probably right. The pistons would be easier to move, wouldn't they? Yeah, I can't seem... The trouble is I can't seem to place the rotor body where I need it, which would be there. Even if I get those displacements in, I'm still not going to clear enough space. I have to get this out of the way somehow. Ah. Let's just deal with this being a bit big for now. I can definitely optimize this a bit. Hey, Mikkel. You just woke up to me making a scissor lift that works, and it really does work. I need something for Survival Impossible. Nosferatu, the trouble is this is all too heavy for this rotor. Although, maybe it's not. If I put these two middle ones on, maybe I can get it out of the way. Let's see. This is again a copy, because I did have them all off before when I removed it. Oh. Oh, okay, it's not too heavy. Sweet. Hehehe. Alright, I can at least optimize this a little bit, which is good. One, two. Rotor. Part. Oops. Part. And now the joys of getting this in the right position. Oh, that should be good. Heck yeah! There we go. Easy. Nice. I'm glad people kept pushing me to do this properly. I'm going to want to move that programmable block because I put it in a terrible location. But I'll deal with that in a little bit. Oh yeah, unlock the middle ones. Thank you. There we go. Hey, Zeronut. And now oh, thanks, Joe Matcha. 3x3, right. Obviously, this is predominantly going to be an outside vehicle. It won't be particularly useful for anything inside my little base, but at least allow me to get all of the outdoor walls and things like that, and at least until I've built much of the indoors, it'll give me access to a lot of stuff in there as well. I need to have these wheels where that extends to, which makes this quite a large vehicle. Yeah, Nosferatu, I use the pistons because they have more power and finer control over that power than rotors do. So I prefer, whenever I can, I prefer to use pistons over rotors. Okay, and did that spin because there was a phantom force, or did that just spin because it chose to spin? I think there might be a phantom force going on. Huh. Getting out of the habit of using control clicks, because when I was playing with Wasted yesterday, the lag means that using those sorts of things is disastrous. It just doesn't work. Okay, let's drop this down and see what happens. I mean, my rotor displacements probably aren't matched, general space. Yeah, I don't think I think I set up the first lot and then I forgot and didn't set up any of the others. Hey, little big mouth. Yeah, all the rotors are turned off. Now, I probably should have put this at this end, thinking about it. Because then I can put like a control seat and a battery down here. So I could drive it around. Could put a big battery on here too. Hey, hey. Oh dear. There was a very good reason I built these platforms the way I did. I wanted to make sure that whatever vehicle I built could actually get up and down that slope, because it is a slope that is common around SE builds, and obviously the wheelbase on this does not allow it. Yeah, I'd be guessing the rotor heads are the Phantom Forces right now. Don't know if that's going to be correct, but it's usually pretty close. Still properly drivable, and just for the fun of it. Run. It's not too shabby. Yeah, Codon, I think I'll need to put wheels down the whole length of it. Maybe 4 at the front, 4 at the back, sort of thing, at least. Let's just make sure that they can fit first. Yeah, Mikkel, I plan to test this on a high-grav planet, which I can do in this save. I just quite like being in the earth, grassy greenness. It's just one of those things I've always preferred. Put there and there, as well as there and there. Okay, wheels. Oh yeah, definitely doing the jump and add wheels combo. I need a gyroscope. Oh, I'm so lucky I'm in creative mode. Okay, that one seems like it's got much worse phantom forces on it. Okay, the 2.4 is just too far. It needs to be less than that, I think. Well, at least this stream's going to have some clippable bits. Yeah, there's definitely still some phantom forces going on. It's not as bad. Let's change this one. .3. Yeah, General Babbitt, I think it is my pistons that are causing the problem here. Or at least they're part of the problem. There are a number of things that can be an issue with this style of build. So the pistons going just a little too far. In fact, that's a little not too far enough. You can't... Yes, J-Rock, it is possible to do pistons going both ways, but it does increase the phantom force issues because if your pistons don't perfectly match, they'll be pushing against each other. Try 2.38. Yeah, that seems to be okay. Oh, I'm going to do a little thing first. Scissor left truck. Okay. Control B. Just in case I do something really silly. Oh yeah, gyro. So that I can recover from the next time I flip it over. Let's see how I can go with this slope this time. A little bit of scraping, but not as much. I wouldn't lock the platform down, to be honest. That's probably just me being cautious thanks to my past experiences with landing gears plus rotors and things, but I just tend not to do that. So how will I get to this platform without any jetpack? Well, you can jump up to here, so then I could easily put, if I didn't have the cockpit in its current position, I could put something to get up to there, and then I can jump up if I put the button panels at the other end. Jojo, I've tried to have blocks. I've tried in the past having a full rail for the wheel to run in. What I found happened with that was that these wheels would start bouncing around like nobody's business and would just be ridiculously bad. Trying to run it in a tight rail never seemed to work, and I think I should have tried this method back then. This isn't the first time I've built a scissor lift. This is just the experience I'm talking about is... Oh, how long ago? That was back when I was doing my first tutorial, so we're talking quite a while. I mean, what I should really do is find out the angle of this last rotor here at this position and then at the top and just limit it within those angles. Because that would stop any of the potential flipping it over the top thing. In fact, why don't I do that? So... safety rotor. So where is my safety rotor? Safety rotor is starting at 276. Mackle, I don't have any small grid ladders in Survival Impossible. I don't think. Because Keen didn't decide to give us small grid ones. Oh no, they do have small grid ones. What am I talking about? I could put a ladder on here. That'd be easy. All I gotta do is shove a ladder on. That's another way to get up then. I'm an idiot. I have them all, have had them all along, and I should have remembered that I had them all along because I did a massive ladder testing video ages ago. Idiot. What are you doing, Splitsy? So it was 274, wasn't it? But this is why I wanted to do this. This is exactly why... yes, smack on the back of the head. This is exactly why I wanted to do this on a stream, because if I do this on a stream like this, you guys will make sure that I don't screw... Oh wait, that's the up. Yeah, that's the up. What do I... don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, XP said. Chat would never lead me astray. Alright, now, what angle are we at? Safety rotor. 328, so 276 to 328. Lower limit, 275. Upper limit, 330. There we go. And now, it can't flip off. Locking all rotors, would it make it better for driving? Maybe, because it wouldn't probably do what it's doing now. Oh, that! Oh! Oh! This is too much fun. Oh man, I can't believe this thing actually came together. Now, because of its scale, I should be able to put something like a piston there, a piston there, Yeah, Shadow Lunatel, that's exactly why they don't let you drive at high speed with things extended. Indeed. So what I'm thinking is if I had like something at the back here, and I'm doing this terribly ugly right now, but if I have pistons mounted out the side, and then down, and down, I could then put 4 landing gear around and kind of level, auto level with the landing gear. Which should be kind of cool. 1 piston would definitely be enough, but for style and roleplay points, I think I'd have to build more than just 1. Even if I just went with a pair at the front, it'd still make me feel better. I suppose what I could do, actually, you're right, Joe Matcha, I could eschew the landing gear except for 1 or 2 of them. So the other landing gear are just to bring it level, and then the initial ones lock in place. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, Gemma, just level it up, lock down, and be happy about it. Alright, let's limit this to a more reasonable scissor lift speed. There we go. That feels much safer. You can see why I haven't built this sort of vehicle in Survival Impossible yet. It's got a lot of blocks to it, and it's going to be quite expensive to put together. But it will be awesome. Imagine this thing as I go around welding up a building, or welding up a wall, or building stuff in the time-lapse as this moves me around and allows me to do all the stuff that I want to do. It'll be really, really awesome. Yeah, and it'll have flashing lights, and it'll have lots of other things like that. Absolutely. Now, I will definitely be putting a lot of those details onto the final build, but this was just a prototype to see that I could do it and see that it would actually work. And it does work, and it is relatively low on clang. Wiper, I'm debating on whether to have it remote controllable. Maybe I shouldn't, so that I don't try and drive it while I'm standing on top of it. The whole dying thing. Yeah, Michaela could do that. Oh yeah. Should I have a cargo container on it that I can put components and things in? Maybe I should. Although that would add a lot of extra mass to the top, which may not be a good idea. Alright. Let's save this. Because I forgot to add Omicron to the mod list. Yeah, I suppose I could add a seat up the top so I was sitting down. Honestly, I'm not going to make the thing as efficient as it could be. But and the reason I'm not going to is because I want it to still look like the real device. So the thing I was showing earlier on with the scissor lift thing. So I want it to still look like one of these. In some ways, anyway. Maybe a big version of it. Omicron. Oh, no, I definitely would not make the final design with advanced rotors. The advanced rotors would be so big. Yeah. I guess, Mikhail, whether I would add a control for movement on top would depend on how unstable it is. And I feel like a... I feel like it should only really be raised and lowered once the landing gear is locked. So being able to move while up there might not be the best idea. Most of you guys would probably know that I tend to stay away from modded functional blocks, like those rotor ones. This terrain is awful. This is going to be horrible if I have to drive along this. Look at that. That'll come out of nowhere. Ugh. Let's go somewhere more like where I'm currently at. I always forget the safety rails, don't you worry about that. This'll do for now. Did I create it? I did create this too small. Oh well, whatever. Still got 1.9 Gs of gravity, so it'll still be a viable test for this. So for those of you not aware, this is actually the planet that I'm using in Survival Impossible. This is my modded alien planet. J-Match, are you saying it's bad that I can't print this with projectors because I'm likely to blow up more than one? Trekker, I'll use a ladder or I'll make it so that I can climb up by putting the controls at the back, because then I can just hop up over the cockpit. That works quite well. Oh, something hit the ground. Oh, that's right. So even with normal jetpack strength, you can't boost straight up. I am right now mashing spacebar, but you can do this. As long as you move slightly off angle, you can actually climb with your jetpack. Hey, Big O, how's it going, man? And I am going to go up. Yes. Haha. No troubles whatsoever with high gravity. Yes, if very elegant and graceful, also known as slow. But I think that's fine. That's a fairly good idea, Codon, to instead of having... I'm going to get back to the Earth-like planet because flying around here is obnoxious. Especially since it is doable, but it's just annoying. Entity list. Oops. So, what I was saying is, Codon was just suggesting that I try and place the... When I do the proper build, instead of having this rotor back here, attached the way it is, I instead put the rotor at the front end. Because the nice thing about that is, it'll then allow the front... Oh, actually, do I want it that way? I think it's got an advantage being this way, now that I think about it. Huh. Because if this goes up, it's then pushing it out over the front of the cockpit. So I think it actually does work right this way. The reason I put the cockpit at this end was because it dangles over and I had room with where I wanted the weight to be balanced over. So I kind of think maybe I do want it this way. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I know exactly what was being suggested, but I think ultimately this... I locked into doing it the way that I think I should keep it. Oh, that's right. It's an option here, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, center of mass doesn't really work reliably for subgrids. Because it does them all individually. Yeah. Sweet. That only took me an hour and a half to put together. Good idea. Yeah, Mako was suggesting the same thing earlier, Sif. Using a piston platform to get to the platform. I feel like that's even overkill for me. Like, definitely think that's overkill for me. I do have controls in the cockpit, by the way, guys. I just like looking at it from the outside. If it's at its lowest height, could you literally make a mini ramp? Yeah, I think so. I think I could just make a set of stairs or something to get up there. I mean, if I do this, and we just get rid of these controls, you'll see how easy it will actually be to get up here. Wait, that one wasn't set to the correct one. Remove. Oh, wait. Programmable block, where is it? Run 0. Wait, was 0 what I want? No. I want that, yeah. That's as low as it goes. I dropped a ladder from the top of the full sofa. So, without my barricade that I put on there before, you can actually do this. And quite easily get up here. So it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to be able to set up some stairs or something that allows you to get onto it. Big ol', I think... yeah, J-Macho, I reckon I could... Like, yes, I can very easily get up here in this, but in 2G, yes, I can. I would think I can as well. But, Big ol', about the... about cargo access, I think the best I'm really going to do, and I'm even tempted not necessarily to do this too much, is I could put a cargo container, like a medium cargo container on the platform. My worry is that that'll make it so top heavy that the whole thing will be quite awkward. So it's something I will consider, but I reckon when I build this thing properly in Survival Impossible, what I'll do is see how I go without having any cargo, see how annoying it is, and then when I get frustrated with it, I will almost certainly add cargo. Although, hold up, let me just check something. That should be fine like that. Then... oh no, I definitely can't access the cargo. I thought it might be worth checking to see if I could reach it. I can't use a piston that extends with the lift to grab components because small grid pistons are only capable of carrying fairly basic stuff, so I won't be able to access anything through them. So I think realistically what I'm going to have to do is at least pop a medium cargo container up here. But maybe even a large, I guess, could be an option. The platform is wide enough for it. Have something like that. I reckon the pistons will be strong enough. It's just how bad it's going to drive if that thing's loaded up. Yeah, Galadas, it does definitely limit how much of the platform I can access, which is unfortunate. But oh yeah, actually that's a fair point. Can I carry enough to reach the number of blocks that I can reach from the top of the platform? And do you know what? I kind of think I could. Realistically, I guess I might be able to reach like 8 large blocks, or 10 if I was lucky. So maybe a medium cargo would be enough, because a medium cargo is just a little bit more than what I can carry in my suit. Oh, it's a few more times. So a medium cargo should be enough. And with a medium cargo, I can walk past it and access. Or I could do what Mac was suggesting and put multiple small cargoes, but then it's the hassle of having to load them all up individually because they can't pipe stuff through. But it would certainly be an option if I was really wanting to if I was really wanting to connect it up. Or if I was really wanting to make it look stylish. Because I could use the small cargo containers as the corner posts. And then I'd have a little cargo container in each corner. Or I could put them as posts along the way. And then I can just use all of them. And then it'd still look cool. Because say I do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like 4. Go there, there. 1, 2, 3. And I've got cargo. Then I can do this. Yeah, don't want to do that. This could work. Nice hidden little extra bits of goodies. I wouldn't need to worry about filling them all up. But it gets you an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. Oh, Galadas, I was always going to be putting a railing around this. I was never planning on having this floor space anything but that. The lip is not a thing when it's compact down. Yeah, Damager, I think they would be a bit of a hassle to load up, but I'm just thinking style-wise, that kind of looks the business. But yeah, the main thing I'm not looking at finalizing this design at all. This is all just to see if I could get this thing to work properly. Yeah, I'm using half blocks, so yeah, you can't turn this floor into cargo. Oh, I totally agree. Medium cargo would be more practical. This has a limited degree of practicality as well as looking kind of neat. What I might do is... I suppose I could do the whole ¿Por qué no los dos? And shove medium cargo down. Oops, not that way. That way. So I can still get past it. Yeah. I'll probably end up using half blocks as posts and using a medium, but this is certainly a viable, if frustrating, problem. Wilson, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do after Wrong Way Down finishes, but it's pretty likely I'll do something like it in the future. Basically, what I'm trying to come up with as ideas for those stream series is things that... What's the best way to put this? Series that have a defined endpoint. I don't want to be doing open-ended stream series. I want to keep coming up with ideas that ideally would take a little less time than Wrong Way Down has. So something that would be finishable in 6-ish streams would be ideal. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's mainly about trying to come up with a challenge that suits for that. Wilson, no. Light Echoes is something Capac and I are still working on, but no, that's a totally different kettle of fish. That's something completely separate to the Wrong Way Down type things. Because Light Echoes is highly edited, is completely scripted, and for example, the final episode of Light Echoes that's been released took me probably about 100 hours of editing. So it's not something I can easily put together. Cool. Well, since that's kind of worked, I am going to save. And I guess we may as well jump. How much time have I got? I can probably go for a little bit longer. Let's jump into my Assertive Cargo Ships world. Just this one, maybe? Might be this one, actually. Oh, Survival Unlikely is not going anywhere, don't worry. Basically, Survival Unlikely and Survival Impossible are my two kind of more open-ended ones. I don't want that for a stream series. For streams, I would like something that's closed-ended and done. When it's done, it's done. Trekker Joe, what exactly do you mean by your crane keybind system should work? Groups that have to maintain sync with each other. I think I'm missing a few steps to work out what you mean by that. Alright, where was I up to? Oh, that's right. That's what I was trying to figure out how to do. So, Codon, for the edited stuff like Survival Impossible and Survival Unlikely, yeah, some of them may go that long, but for a stream series, absolutely not. People, especially the people playing, tend to get a bit tired and it ends up feeling a bit samey. Having an end goal that's in sight always, I think, is a really nice thing for a stream series. Yeah, Trekker Joe, I think that is kind of how it should work. If you put it in the custom data, you know what it's going to do, then it should just do it. So, back into Assertive Cargo Ships. What I was last doing when I was fiddling with this was playing around with the Skeletor by Kier. The Skeletor is... It's a nice looking ship, actually. I quite like it. But... Oh wait, what am I doing? I forgot to do something before. No, that's not what I need to do. I need to go to... music. Stream playlist. Audio. Device. Forgot to put music on at the start. Yeah, XPZ, exactly what I was thinking. The encapsulated stream just keeps people on a goal, and it keeps people together and moving forward, and it works a lot nicer. Whereas with editing, if Capac and I wander off and do something ridiculous, if it ends up being fun and funny, I can leave it in. If it ends up being a bit meh, I can get rid of it. So it works. So this one uses a lot of large thrusters. And despite having some very, very rich loot in what it actually is, having lots of large thrusters and whatnot, it doesn't have any room in its PCU limit for guns. Because this thing is just barely scraping under the PCU limit. So what I started doing was cutting it down and trying to get it down to a more reasonable size. So I chopped it in half, and then I chopped out some of the segments, and then I stuck it back together to bring it down to a smaller scale. So that's got 4 ribs along the side compared to the... What? I only got rid of 1? Oh, you're kidding me. Yeah, I really did struggle to make it much smaller. Dear. Yeah, Michael, I've thought of some stuff like that I might do in the future. What I may do with this, I think, though, is get rid of those 2 thrusters. I've got 2 big ones there for lifting, which I felt needed to stay there because if we go inside, there's this passageway here, which I kind of felt was a defining characteristic of the ship, in that you walk all the way forward to the cockpit, going up and then down. So I wanted to keep that part in, and I guess we kind of need these 2 large lifting thrusters for that. But what I wasn't able to happily design, or design in a way I was happy with, was moving these 2 out. Because what Kier's done is designed around that 3x3x3 by using the large cargo containers down the side as well. So, what I think I need to do is perhaps just accept that those thrusters are going to be there and see what our PCU count is up to. Oh, what colour were those thrusters? Oh, they were that colour. See what our PCU count is up to, and then look at ways to make this into something that's only going to spawn later on. Yep, playing on anything that I get a good ping to is going to be horrible for a lot of people who typically here for these sorts of things, because it will absolutely be something in Australia. Because if I'm the one streaming it, I really have to be on a server where I've got reasonable ping. It's just the way it goes. It's why if Wasted's host, I get horrible ping, and if I'm host, he gets horrible ping. You just can't do it any other way. Because what people are watching needs to have the best experience. If I go with something like this. And I should put mirroring on. XBZ, putting a server in the middle and making everyone's experience horrible. That's exactly what we did when the first time I played with Shaq, Wasted, myself, Tex, and Kabak. So that Wasted, myself, and Kabak all had equally middling experiences. Shaq hosted. So everyone... And Shaq does have a really good connection as well. Yes, there are many things missing because of the way I reformatted this ship. It is going to need some maneuvering thrusters. Which I suppose I could put in the back here, actually. I wonder if this will look alright. Oh, that's probably too close, actually. That's not going to work. Does that look better than what I had before? Yeah, I think it kind of does. Where can I squeeze in some sideways thrusters? What I could do is I could get rid of these containers at the rear, move them into the middle here, so we've got the two containers all in the middle, and then I could use this rear section to yeah, I'll do that, I think. I'll use this rear section as the housing for all of the thrusters. So I think that works. Yeah, Growlcore, you kind of did. I got a design that I think is workable for Survival Impossible. So I decided to quickly have a bit of Assertive Cargo Ships building. I could probably update the thing. I guess I probably should in a sec. I thought it'd say and then some other stuff. Didn't I? Maybe not. Oh, hang on. Just in case someone else jumps in with the scissor lift question, I'll just put it here in the background so I can show it off whenever I like. There we go. Blam. Assertive cargo lift. I love that idea. That's hilarious. Oh, that's the other thing I've got to do to improve the PCU limit on this. This is all using conveyor junctions. So there are I can probably simplify the piping through here and make this have a bit more as well. Yeah, cringies. When I build the proper one, I will. I'm not going to fiddle around with lighting on this. This is literally just a prototype, so I'm not going to be doing any of that sort of fine detailing or anything like that at this stage. It's just not needed. This was literally just to get a working prototype. Yes, tubes and junctions do have the same PCU, but they don't have the same system load. Because PCU is kind of just a rough guess. You could be right, Michael. The one that I built, the one that I build in Survival Impossible may well kill me. This is a real possibility. It's something that I may end up happening to me. Yes, J-Matcher, that's about right. PCU is a free text field that Keen guessed at. Certainly feels like that anyway. Got big reverse, big forward, 3 left, 3 right. Got the couple of downs. Yeah. Kind of works. Alright, so now I've just got to rework the interior. I think that should be good as is. But basically what I'm thinking of is this ship is going to be... Oh wait, I don't have the other ones here anymore. Right. Probably similar to these ones of Vox. These designs of Voxes, in that they'll be at least medium difficulty only, but this one will probably only be hard difficulty. Right now, no, it won't fly because it has no power. I deleted the power section when I went through it. So I need to fix this hole and then get some power in. Let's turn off symmetry mode while I do some deleting. Oh yes, and for anyone who has submitted designs to me for the Assertive Cargo Ships mod, this is what will happen to them when I get my hands on them. I had a specific idea in my head for what the mod was going to be, and how it was going to all work. So I'm going to stick to that, stick to my guns on that, and I'm just going to modify these things as I need to make it all fit within that same theme. Yep, about that, right? About that, cringy. It's literally just whatever needs to be removed will be. It's also really hard to modify other people's designs when you don't know where they've, like, what's been done where. So I tend to, for some of these things, just core them out and start afresh, because then I know what's where and I know what I can modify as I go along to make further adjustments to fit with what I was trying to do. It's not going to fall apart. Little parts will fall off, but the whole thing's not going to fall apart. It'll be fine. Be fine. Probably. What is that block? Is that a remote control block? I think it is. Yep. It's very hard to spot stuff in all this black. I think I might recolor the floor. Bring it up to a little bit of a lighter color. Galadice, I will. But I also know this won't fall apart. Do you know why? It's a static grid embedded in the ground. So I'll be able to reconnect it even if it does. That's why I was feeling safe to be that cocky. Because I might have, when I was prepping to get to this point where it was joined back together, snapped it in half or broken something off, so I went, ooh, I should probably just build this with the whole thing stuck in the ground. Okay, that's the airlock. I'm going to bring in some of these other colours inside. Not a big fan of the all black interior. Makes a very... evil genius. I don't know. I feel you lose a lot of sense of shape and form when everything's in black. And interior spaces that people actually exist in are very rarely made all dark. Oops, wrong colour. I could make the airlock just one-sided, but I think that symmetry makes sense for a ship on this scale. J-Matchow, I'm going to show off your party ship, but no, it breaks a number of the rules for the mod, so it won't be part of it, unfortunately. No custom LCDs was one of the big rules because they are a performance killer. So it was a big thing that I didn't want to have in. I don't know, there is a way to rebind that. But I haven't rebound anything ever in Space Engineer, so I am the wrong person to ask if you can rebind right-click or not. Okay. That has to go across there, then there's a secondary airlock up here and there, so I don't really need to have an airlock at the bottom of these stairs. The stairs could just be opened. But yeah, J-Match, even if a ship doesn't technically qualify, I will still absolutely show the build to begin with anyway. Because it's fun. Thanks, Weems. Or should I say, Weems? If the door's there... Alright, let's start from the outside. Let's finish off the armor, and then I should be able to have a clearer idea of what space I've got to work with. So I can do the interior design. Yeah, Mako. Something like that. I probably should have put a disclaimer on the mod, on the submission thing for the mod, being like, be aware, your ships will be modified by me on stream, where I try and figure out how to make them work within a very strict criteria that I forgot to put into the submission description. What am I going to do with this? What did Kia do before? That's why we lost all our side thrust. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, big O. I will probably... I can't remember how long ago you submitted yours. I'm trying to go through them roughly in the order I received them now, so that there's at least some logic to what I'm doing. I suppose what I can do is... if I then switch to... oh, what am I doing? Dope splitsy. Oh, whoops. Let's turn symmetry mode back on. So I don't want to have to do this twice. Everybody loves a good butcher. I may have to delete this feature, this little strip, actually. Oh no, I've got a better way of including this bit of colour. I just have to move it back a bit. Where it was, I don't think it was going to integrate very nicely, whereas this should. Yeah. How long am I going to be streaming? Probably not too much longer, to be honest. Maybe another half an hour or so, I think. I'd like to get this design mostly done and perhaps even integrated into the mod. But then I should probably go and do some other stuff that I need to get done. Like editing Survival Unlikely. What the heck was... Oh, that's what it looks like on the... Huh. Weird. That is not what I'd anticipated. Let's just fix that up while I remember about it. I don't think it looked as obvious on the original build because I actually added that color into that block there. So what I might do... is that... Survival Unlikely is every Wednesday evening, Australia time. Much like Survival Impossible is every Saturday evening. And then... at least recently, most Friday mornings my time, I've been doing the Wrong Way Down. I try and stick pretty close to that schedule because I like for you guys to know roughly when things are, just by knowing when they are, not having to look it up or wait for me. So I do my best at sticking to that schedule. Yeah, cringies, that's kind of how I used to watch streams. These days, I don't tend to watch many, to be honest. I kind of don't have the time. Huh. Feels like something's missing here. I'm going to do a little bit of Greeble. I wonder if I deleted it or if it wasn't, or if it was just not there. I can't ever really tell. Shadow, my perspective on symmetry is just the easiest way to get visual balance in a design. I prefer to go for asymmetrical but visually balanced ships. I find it's a lot more interesting. Like, things like that end up looking a lot more interesting and a bit more pleasing to the eye if you can manage that visual balance while being asymmetrical. Do I have any examples here? So, the Mantis is actually a pretty good example to look at. This is perfectly symmetrical, but you could make it asymmetrical and still give it visual balance if you made the antenna a bit more of a feature on one side, but chopped that side short, and have it styled a bit like the ship in the second season of Final Space, where it's quite asymmetrical and there's a big lead on one side. So I just try and think of everything that my art teacher tried to teach me in high school. about visual design when I do it, so that I can try and get these things balanced and looking right. I think that's going to have to be like that. Let's get rid of those. Then... oh no. I hate this when I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'll leave that like that for now. Yes, colors are not really easy for people who lack it, who have any degree of color blindness. It's unfortunate. There are, however, I can't think of any big what did I miss? Oh man. Did I? Oh, I don't think I missed that yesterday. I saw Mackerel coming in and sub. Oh right, okay. I was like, I swear I didn't miss that yesterday. I know. And then, but the worst part was, I just started looking in the chat and I'm like, hang on. I did miss a comment earlier. So I've just got to figure out what I'm going to do around these cargo containers. I'm kind of tempted to actually do the opposite to what Kia did with them. For one reason. I think... oh, actually no. Nope. Kia was right. That looked bad. What I was thinking originally was if I put this as a conveyor tube in there and have it highlight that that's there, it might have looked good, but I think it adds too many colors to the ship. So I think it is actually better as it was. And we can do this. Oh, dang it. Oh no, I do have symmetry on. Phew. Thought I'd forgotten symmetry. Yeah, Shadow, that's exactly what I mean. The sort of... something you look at and you're like, that's an interesting design. That looks really cool. But it's completely asymmetrical and that's part of why it works. I might need to move this thing up to space so that I can see it better. Or give it a couple of stalks. Well, that's obviously not the first time I've done that. Oh no, that was the symmetry. Maybe that's... was this the one I would more recent... oh, I think I picked up on the wrong one because it's been so long since I went over here. Okay, now I can work underneath and follow what the heck is going on. There we go. Yeah, Jay Matcher, it's like final, final, final. No, really, this is the final one, final, final. In this sort of management of this sort of thing. Splinter, you idiot! Oh. Damn it. Let's pop that in there because it was. Yeah, in regards to Eve designs, the Minmatar or Caldari are the obvious choices for Space Engineers building. Because they're both quite blocky. In fact, one of the designs that's in Assertive Cargo Ships does ring quite close to the Minmatar designs. It certainly has that right feel to it. Huh, the stairs really do stick out further. Huh. I was not anticipating that. Oh, big hole incident forms. Ah, they're the worst thing ever. Oh, I hate that stuff so much. I know it's necessary, but man, is it annoying. Just makes me feel like I'm at work. That's pretty good, Chamacha. Especially for a very random impromptu stream that I just started thinking about when I was up way too early this morning and couldn't get back to sleep. Oh, yes. Just thinking what to use this bottom space for, and I know exactly what to use this bottom space for. Because these are 3x3 gaps. Which means we can at least get 2 turrets in. Yeah, I need to... I need to get Capac, Pro Streamer Amaru on the case. Because he's done a few of those things on his. In fact, I was expecting to see him by now. Because we sometimes do a Baldur's Gate stream today. I don't know if we'll do that or if he'll do some other stuff on his channel later on when I'm editing some things. Oh yes, this ship is too valuable to not have more Dakar. It is going to have all of the guns. Where? I don't know, but it's going to have them. I'm going to design the interior first. I'm just going to check on what its PCU is now without most of the functionals. Down to 2,000. Sweet. It is Monday morning for me. Speaking of which, should probably check my phone and make sure my boss hasn't tried to contact me. No. Looks good. No, I'm not rostered on today, but someone I work with has been unwell, so I might have been called in if they weren't able to work today. So I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing that phone call. That would get awkward later on. Actually, that might work better. Imagine my phone lives permanently on silent now. Like proper silent, not vibrate silent. Silent. Because I just wouldn't want to be recording or streaming and having my boss go bzzz, bzzz on the desk because it's so stupidly loud when it does it. So I literally do have it on complete silent 99% of the time. It also means I don't wake up to Discord notifications or anything like that. Even though I'm, again, on Discord 99% of the time on Do Not Disturb mode. Because that's just the way it is. Actually, I don't think they do. I don't work with many people who are gamers or interested in PC gaming really to any extent, so I'd be very surprised. I think one of the guys at my old work did. And there are a few people who have seen it, but watch regularly. No, I don't believe so. Alright. Not sure what to do here. I'm gonna have to go junction there if I want this to be piped. I don't need to pipe this up. The beauty of what I've had in mind for this mod all along was that things just had to look like they were working. They didn't actually have to work. So the whole idea was you just kind of like cartoons. It just has to look right and feel right. It doesn't have to be right. Like the Simpsons house. The Simpsons house does not work, but it looks right, so it's fine. Yeah, Matcha, I think I'm quite lucky with shift work and that I put in all the hard time when I was at uni to get to the job that I've got so that I have that time to be able to do this. But I also hate my job because realistically I burnt out. I might just block that one off. Yeah. Yeah, Michael. He's keeping up on you. Checking up, making sure you're not Skyping out of work. This might all just be empty space under here. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, I just don't think I've got a purpose for it. And I also think... no, I can get out here. I was thinking for a second that I'd locked myself in there. But I won't. Oh. Should I do it? Can I do it? Can I be truly evil? Can I make an antenna fit inside? I reckon I can. Yes. Oh yes. This ship's hard mode. I like it. Perfect. Yes. Perfect. Yeah, too much. Faraday would be spinning in his grave. Oh. So I think that's most of the outside of this done, isn't it? In fact, I'm going to do the guns in red. So am I. The Darkstar's defense shields are great because they have a number of limitations. I definitely agree that because one of the best aspects of them is that they have to have clear line of sight on them. I think I might have to do this. So I don't feel okay about the number of guns on this thing. How high has that put our PCU? Ah, it's still under. Sweet. Oh yeah, remind me about the ammo toward the end because I may change which guns are where. Oh, and oh no, J-Matches, I've actually changed it all. I'm not getting the mod to fill up the ammo anymore. The reason I changed that is that the ammo, it was just getting too much. So I wanted to make sure I had only a little bit on most of them. I did a little stream a little while ago where I went through and I've rebuilt the whole Assertive Cargo Ships mod, testing everything as I went to make sure it would work on Omicron, so it works on the proper planet that I'm using in Survival Impossible, because I had not tested things properly and things did not quite work as intended, which was unfortunate. But now it all does. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure, man. I do not get upset if you've missed little details like that. I was literally just re-explaining why, because I had to change my plans basically. So I definitely had originally said, oh, it'll just be up to the mod to do it. It'll be fine. It'll be better that way. But I changed because reasons. Oh yeah, Shadow Ari. I'm glad you did because I would have forgotten. If I recall correctly, I asked people to remind me about checking turret range, checking ammo, and making sure that the antenna and everything was set up properly too. Yeah, I think this one is just going to have... oh, hang on. One sec, guys. I need to go to the mod to remind myself what the heck the antenna names are called because I need to... One of these is going to be fixed. It's going to be stuck as a specific name, and I want it to spawn a specific type of drone. Mods... Assertive Cargo Ships... Ta-da... Prone antennas. Okay, here we go. So, we have civilian ship under attack. That's not the one I want to use. Requesting assistance. Yeah. So what I want to use is requesting assistance for this one on the front. Then this one is going to be hard. So what'll happen is this one's going to be set to say 3,000 meters. Which means when you get within 3 kilometers of this, it'll start saying requesting assistance. And if you get even closer, this one will then spawn something nasty on top of you as well. It's a cool little thing, Matcha. I hadn't seen those as bits before. Thanks, man. Yes, checklists are good, and checklists are things I am terrible at. Alright, Matcha, thanks for coming along, man. Hopefully see you again soon. I think it's time for interior design. If I check that this thing flies. Now, it may not actually be flying yet. Oh no, it is. Those thrusters are working. That's amazing, big hole. One of my drones infiltrated his base. That's hilarious. Oh man. No, Jamacha, I don't work at an airport. Oh, that is amazing though. Big ol', did it infiltrate your base kind of like the way that the drones did with Capac and I when they were attacking us in Escape from Mars on that base? Or did it manage to somehow get in there without without poking its head through a wall? Need a turret. Let's turn off symmetry because I've only got a small amount of space back here. It's always so tight in these really small spaces. It's so difficult. Can I pop that out? Can I pop that? I could do that. That's an idea. Where are my beds? How do I have beds on my hotbar? Oh, because they're under couch. Right. If I put the bed there, how does that look from the outside? It's look a little funny, but maybe what I will do is I will paint those. Yeah, I think I'll do that on both sides too. I think Lucas might be working on some some clever new tactics for the drones. So stuff like grinder drones may well become more common. What am I doing placing that there? It should be an interior wall. There we go. There's a little privacy screen on the bed. Perfect. I could, if I wanted to, change these over to catwalk stairs or make a ramp, but I'm inclined to leave them as is. Especially if I do this. Yeah. This is actually coming together, like I was hoping. Two beds. That means I could probably do something like... I should bring in the red. Where's some red? Oh, wait, no. Don't need to do that. I could do... lockers or an armory. Then I could put the square block. Oh, I kind of like that being up, so maybe I'll put lockers against the wall. Yeah. Yeah, machine learning AI. Oh, trying to get a neural network to run in SE? That could be an interesting thing. I need... kitchen. That is not kitchen. Kitchen there. I spent so much time on this side of the design, but I feel like it's needed. It's important. And then I need to fit some sort of bathroom in here. I really wish they had a bathroom with an actual closing door. At least this one looks like it should. So you can kind of... I feel like you can get away with it being more exposed as it is. I suppose I could do this, actually. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing going with all this cream in here. Then what I could do is... pop some freight in there. So I got bathroom, I got sleeping, I got eating. And I got lockers. Do I need anything else? You don't need lab equipment. I could have a couch somewhere, but I don't think I've really left myself much of an opportunity to put one in. Max Steven, are you saying that because Capac's not here, that I need a snack machine? Because he's not here to say it? Jukebox. Huh. Just thought of something. Nope. That wall is an actual wall. But I could. I could still do it, actually. So if we go bathroom there, then go shower. There, and then pop these across just so it hides that I did that. Gives me a little bit more floor space to play with. Of course, it does give us a... oh wait, that doesn't need to be black anymore, does it? Because the outer wall's covered. Yeah, I like this music. This is my favorite track I've found to use with my videos. I love it using it for my tutorial intros. And for time lapses. And for everything, basically. I'm not putting a jukebox in. Actually, what is the PCU on a jukebox? $25. Aztega. Yes, no, maybe. So PCU in this context is only relevant to us in terms of I want to make sure that these ships can spawn for people who are even running lower end machines. I don't want the Assertive Cargo Ships mod to be one of these mods that brings anything but the most beefy computer to its knees. And so that means I want to avoid unnecessarily expensive blocks for the most part. It's the PCU is not an entirely accurate indicator of how expensive something is in terms of processing time, but it does give you a slight indication. Yeah, theoretically it's based off that Demon Works, but in actuality it's someone at Keen's best guess of what it takes. And I know doors are quite expensive because they are involved with being open or closed compared to with relation to air tightness and things like that. And there's a bunch of other aspects of them that make them expensive, but I just can't bring myself to make a bathroom that's not able to be opened or closed. Yeah, what could I do as the floor to make it a bit different? I don't think I'll be going with wood. Although maybe I'd make all the furniture a little different. Clean. So maybe I'll make the floor not clean. Although interior walls look the same regardless, don't they? Dang. Yeah, Octavia, it's kind of... It's one of those things I find difficult to sacrifice for the sake of performance. Which I suppose surprises no one. Yeah, that kind of brings it together a bit better. Lights now. Why do I have the wrong lights on my bar? Don't need those doubled. I think I was working on this back before the reshuffle of all the things. Maybe I'll try and get away with one light. That's what I do have a thing there. Maybe there. Now the other thing I really like doing lately is setting my lights just a little bit yellow. Because it does make them feel much more like natural light. Like real world lights. No, I will not put any rotors because another requirement that I set for this mod was no rotors, no subgrids. It all has to be done with single grid because, again, spawning them in, multi-gridded stuff tends to break. So that was always going to be a no-no. Yeah, Cridgies, they do feel just warmer and a bit... I think the colour I've picked isn't quite tungsten, but it's close. It just happens that there's a colour that it's kind of nearish to tungsten with build vision and just shift mouse scroll once on green and twice on blue. That gives a nice real world colour to stuff, which I like. So it's my lazy and very quick way to get that colouring. I don't think the cockpit should get a light. But should the walkway? Should I have the lights down here? Probably. What's my PCU at? There we go. Pretty high. Ah, crud. Okay. But you can see under these lighting conditions, the floor and the walls don't look all that different, but they're different enough for it to make them stand out a bit more than they did. But it's not quite as glaringly obvious as it was under the really pure white light. Yeah, PhD, that's not too dissimilar. I suspect yours is a bit darker overall, using 140, 180 and 210. Right. All doors need to be shut. Now, I think we might also splurge a little bit beyond the PCU limit here, but that. Oh, that's the other thing. I'll turn off idle. Yeah, Big Ol, it really does, but you'd need a script to flicker it on and off. And I've kept all these builds are script free. Again, for server load or host load. Because the blink on and off just doesn't quite do the same. What I have started doing in these, which I'm going to do, is putting little bits of something in a few of the containers, just for something to be there. Whoops. Had meant to do spawn in container. So, be sure to check out things like the lockers and those little boxes and stuff like that, because over time I would like to start adding more and more little extra bits and pieces, just to give you a point to a reason to actually search the ship, give you some thing that you'll experience in there. I may even, if I get around to it, try and learn Lucas's spawn random cargo inside containers, so that I'll have a long list of some fairly basic stuff, but a few interesting things, and it'll spawn some random combination of it, and just a little bit. Ghost the Sniper, this is for my Assertive Cargo Ships mod, and I think this ship is pretty much done. Just gotta put ammo in the outer guns. Yep, my controls there. Should probably give it a quick flight test, actually. That's not too bad. This has two antenna jettos. Two antennae. Oh yeah, Big O, I've got a test world set up which I will load it into. Its PC will probably be just exceeding. Yep. Which, basically the idea of the 4,000 was so that the stuff that you guys submitted would be something that I could work with and keep roughly within that range. But for the ships I've used, particularly the ones that are hard mode ones, they have ended up with a few of them having a little bit... Well, there we go, that's what I was looking after. They have ended up with a little bit more than that in some situations. Basically when I felt like they just needed more guns. I think you might be right. I have a bathroom door over. If I got rid of the door, I'd still be fine. So, those of you who've watched a few of these streams where I've been doing... Did I close all the other doors? Where I've been doing these designs, you'd probably notice that one of the big things I try hard to do is to make these ships work from a light roleplay point of view. So they look like places that people would exist in. They look like somewhere that you could actually fly long term in, and they look like they function. Even if they don't fully function, they look like it. So the designs that lack that, I've added it to. While trying to keep the general feel of the original design. So if we have a look at Kia's original design, which is over here. So this is Kia's original design. It's longer, it's a bit bigger, but I think most people would agree that this and this share a common basis. And yet I've managed to add a bunch more turrets and shrink it down while doing so. And that's kind of what my aim always is. I want to keep the feel of whatever you guys submit. For some of the other ships, I won't need to do much to bring them to what I want. And others will need more humanizing. Like this Mantis, it doesn't need much. I just need to, because I know what Vox... This is Vox, I think. I know what Vox did, which is left this all pretty clear. So I should be able to put all of the decorative DLC stuff inside here. This bay is intentionally a hangar, so I should be able to refit that one fairly quickly, and that will be the next ship I do, actually. So I've got these two. These next three should be fairly quick, I think. Haven't decided what to do with this one yet. And I think this one's relatively quick too, because it's mostly just interior design again. Yeah. Oh, this one might take a bit more work, because I got to figure out how to move those cargo containers around and fit everything corridor-wise, but it also shouldn't be too bad to figure it out. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that as the final design. So I might save as D. Then I'm going to delete all of the extra ones. There is an engineered turret out there. Can't remember what the mod's called, but there is one out there. I don't know if you can easily repaint it to look like Capac. If you're ever wondering what Capac's colours are, hue is 115, and saturation and vibrance, I think V stands for, are both at 100%. Right. Control B. Control C, F11, export. So I'll export it. Ah, I didn't do the... oh, great. No. No, just hydrogen thruster ships. They can have hydrogen thrusters, but they need to have other forms of... They should have other forms of thrust. Lucas has since told me that that's not strictly necessary. But I think it's a good idea regardless. If you're interested in what the restrictions are, head over to my, Capac and my Discord server, and in the Assertive Cargo Ships mod, Assertive Cargo Ships channel, there's a pinned post with everything you need to know. And here's it going over the even further over the limit. Yeah. Let's blueprint that again. And we should have the Assertive Cargo Ships test thing, and then I can just pop into that. Cringies, I don't think people would actually enjoy that, to be honest. The idea of building something just to crash it into the ground at the end, I think, for the people playing, I think that would take a lot away from them. Because they'd feel like literally everything they were doing was pointless. This is not my test world. No. What was it? I could have sworn it was this one. Ah, here it is. ACS Planetary Test System. That's the one. Right. I think the last one was Omicron. Makel, that would have probably been one where I was... That would be the one where I was testing the drones, I think. And testing assertive installations too. She doesn't look happy. She does not look happy. I don't know that this one's going to be capable of handling Omicron. I think it might have to be an excluded one. I don't know. I'm gonna have to test this properly, I think. Alright. Yeah, dark helmet. Get rid of the bathroom door to save weight. What does everyone have against my bathroom doors? It's not fair. Alrighty. So, where's my things? Spawn groups. I tested all these. Yeah, sci-fi shows and lack of bathrooms. Actually, really any TV show. The trouble is you can't really do privacy corners in Space Engineers without taking up even more space than a door does. A bucket could work. Oh, jeez. Alright, I want to go to the Atmo ones. Where are my Atmos? Here we go. Bosses. This one's going to be a hard mode one, so let's copy off the Shasqui. So this is, if we go back to Space Engineers, export. Oh wait, did I? Oh, I didn't export the right one. Yeah, Stuga, damn you. Oh no, that's going to become a thing. I don't want bathroom door, anti-bathroom door. Yeah, I mean, really, if I was wanting to be extra strict, what I would do is I would remove an airlock from one side of the ship. That would be the most logical, because it doesn't need to have one on both sides. And that gets rid of 2 doors. So if I was really worried about that, that's what I'd do. And apparently my voice is going, so I'm going to need to hurry up and finish this thing. I think everything's right. Oh, that's this one. See, it's not too bad. Yeah, I think everything's right. Let's get rid of the previous prefab. And let's Control-C, F11, export. Now we need that name. It's replacing. Ah, I've done it again. What are you doing, Splitsy? Focus. Info. This needs to be tagged. There we go. Okay, remind me never to let you, Max Deviant, remind me to never let you near my planned base on Survival Impossible, because I want to have an Arboretum in there. That's the one I want. And that. 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 Cool. Okay, spawn group is set up. Let's Let's move that. Let's delete that. Mods. Assertive Cargo Ships. Okay. That should be everything. Now I can go back into the test world and I can see if I can spawn it. I need 500 threat score to be able to spawn this thing. So I'm going to need some big ships. Roach. /enter /mes dot get threat score. Perfect. Now enter /mes dot spawn planetary cargo ship. Is it ship or ships? Ship. Dot. Oh wait, no, it's spawn dot planetary cargo ship. Get eligible spawns at position. Let's see if I've messed something up. It is not in the list. Why is it ineligible? Oh. Damn it. I think I've got the wrong mod in this world. I think I need to have... I think I had the ACS test mod still active rather than the Assertive Cargo Ships because I moved over to it. Oh man, my mod list takes so long to load. Damn you, wasted. Yeah. Wrong mod. Ugh. Alright, now we should be able to spawn it. Once I wait long enough for the game to register that I'm here. Yep. Yep, player not in watch list. I have too many things open. Okay, the Skeletor is legit there. Spawn it! Aha! There we go. Should start seeing some drones in a second. I hope. Yeah, there we go. Sparrow and Dragonfly. Nice. Yeah. /mes.come at me, bro. It is amusing. Cool. Well, this doesn't seem to be crashing, so it's in. It works for the mod now. That's another cargo ship added. Which is just in time, because my voice is now constantly cracking. Which will hopefully improve further tomorrow, because I'm a lot better today than I was yesterday on Wasted Stream. Oh man, that was bad at the start. Sweet. Well, guys, hopefully... Yeah, Michael, I think I do a bit. Hopefully there'll be some time later this week for some more of this and getting a couple more of the designs integrated into the mod, because I'd like to think that by the end of the week I can get this with maybe 3 or 4 more. So I will I'll definitely see you guys later this week for some more Wrong Way Down, but if not, I might actually get a chance to put some more of these random streams together. So as usual, there's all that and Notepad++ to go, and I will see you all then. Thanks for coming along.